Anyway, the first booktuber personality type is those. Hi, hello, my name's Ollie Bliss and this is my channel Book Draw. For those who don't know, I enjoy looking at queer fiction and occasionally I create images out of it. Today I am doing a tag. This one in particular is a big shout out to Leo, who's just recently launched his channel. He's over at A Little Book Life. He has been a really avid advocate for me, and I feel very privileged to be able to be talking about him and celebrating him. Because he's commented really regularly on my channel, and it's nice to get more of a greater sense of who he is and some of his reading tastes. And I think if you're on BookTube, you may already be well aware of him because he does reach out actively to a lot of us, and it's been nice that he's kind of come up through and wanted to take part more. But this is actually a tag from a different original video by Alan Morton, who I haven't actually come across before, so it's also nice to be able to be introduced to his channel too. And this tag in itself is one of those tags where you actually get to talk about a range of different booktubers in terms of their personalities, and so depending on the personality type that you enjoy, it'll give you a framework to work towards in terms of thinking, oh, I might be interested in that person and what they're up to. So I think this is a really cool tag. It kind of reminds me of the newbie book tag. I really do miss Michael, because he took down his channel last year at some point, and I haven't heard a peep out of him. But if you are watching this, Michael, I miss you, and I hope you're okay and you're doing well. I can understand why you might have needed to remove yourself from BookTube, but I just hope in life that you're doing good. Anyway, the first personality booktuber type is the one who underrates themselves. But so for this, I chose Emma from Bookish Lifestyle. Emma hasn't actually done a video for about 10 months. That's according to what it says on my list. I'm kind of saying this as a prompt to say, come on girl, get back involved. But I think recently she might have been underrating herself, and I just want to kind of help encourage her to get back up. And she's been doing a lot on Instagram, so you can check out her content there. Add a link in the description below so you can check her out too. But it's also kind of just encourage you to come back to us too. The next personality type is the booktuber who doesn't take themselves too seriously. So for this one, I chose Mel's Bookland Adventures because I think she's a lot like me in the sense that she kind of knows why she's here. Like, she knows what she's trying to get out of BookTube, and she's not really motivated towards the kind of drive of gaining subscribers. That she just wants to take part in the community and just have bookish chats. And she's really actually quite regular and proactive in what she does. But I think I get the sense that she really knows herself, and that's a really admirable quality in someone. She has great humor in the way she carries herself and what she talks about. But she doesn't take herself overly seriously, which I just think is a quality I would like to aspire more towards. The next one is a booktuber with Understated Delivery. So for this one, I chose Leanne Rose. And Leanne Rose is like just the most beautiful, wonderful human being. And she kind of just has this quality about her, which is almost like ethereal, I'd say. She's just a very like floaty, friendly, but also quite sharp like type of character. And I get the sense that she would be someone you could have quite a good night out on the town with. But I think that she is that type of person who hasn't yet acknowledged how awesome she is in herself. And when you watch her, like she's the type of person you kind of just want to hang out with, and she is just very cool. But she's also that type of person who just doesn't know it at the same time. I think it's just kind of cool. The next one on the list is a booktuber with a quirky, rambling style. Now, I actually chose two booktubers for this one because I really want them to collaborate at some time in their lives. I think they would be great together. So the first one is Rachel Louise Atkins, and the other is Hooked on Books. I think if you paired these two up, they would just be genius together, but they both, in their own way, have this kind of wonderful, quirky nature, and also the type of content that they both produce is just a little bit different to the way other people present themselves in the books that they're interested in. They're just two very cracking booktubers. But yeah, I reckon they would be great together. The next booktuber is the next booktuber personality style is the one who's interested in highbrow literature. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily qualifies, but it's the only person who I could really think of in this framework. So I chose What Page Are You On? Who's Alex. So I've collaborated with him in the past, but he has this kind of analytical stance on the way he picks apart different books, and some of the range of the books that he's talking about are ones which I've never come across and don't always come across through other booktubers either. So I think he's the only one who I could really kind of identify within this frame. The next one is the booktuber with a quiet demeanour. So I chose Norse Chaos for this one. I think he's got a beautiful personality, and he does come across as a more kind of shy, reserved type within his videos. But underneath what he's also talking about and discussing, he's got some really great views in there, and he's definitely one that you'll want to take time with. The next booktuber personality type is one which could easily be transferred onto any booktuber. This is around intelligence and depth. I think everybody comes with an element of insight when they're talking about their books, because they're talking about them so passionately. But I think the ones who do it in a kind of interesting, different way are like MTS Books, who does these really interesting critiques into the way he looks at different books and the way he frames them thematically, and likewise Books and Things. I think she has a really detailed analysis, and she has a real particular focus on historic fiction, but both of them really do go into that depth, which I think other booktubers might not necessarily want to go into. So if you like that type of video, they are very willing to take you there. The next personality type is one which is warm and friendly. So I chose Charlie Brooke for this. I mean, if you sit and listen to Charlie Brooke for more than a minute, you will just be like a little puddle of joy. Like, she has that just endearing quality and charm within the way she presents herself, but she has this wonderful quality and presence within her videos. Then next personality type is one which is self-deprecating, and I thought about this, and I thought instead of just like picking on an individual booktuber, I would just kind of say that we can be self-saboteurs occasionally on our platforms, and sometimes we talk about things like haven't read enough in this month, or I'm comparing myself to these different booktubers and I want to be a bit like that. And I think that's not like the best way in which we can just appreciate ourselves in terms of what we give to the community. And it's been nice actually when sometimes other more like the bigger booktubers have actually called us all on that and said it's okay, like regardless of how many books you're reading, and that's a great thing, and you should just be proud and pleased with yourself for having achieved that. It doesn't necessarily matter the number of them or the number of followers that you have. You're doing you, and you are contributing, and that's a great thing, because doing this does take a lot of time for people, and we all have different levels of time and amounts of time and when we can fit it in. So I think sometimes we do need to be kinder to ourselves as just a general note. But I wouldn't want to pick on an individual person and say they're self-deprecating. I think that they might not necessarily need to hear that if they are that type of personality. And then finally, the final personality type is one who is quiet and measured in their deliveries. So again, I chose two for this one because I couldn't like pick between them. The first one being Bookish Islander. I think he's got a great kind of sense of presence within his videos, and he really understands what he's trying to convey, and it's done in a really articulate way, which I wish I could capture and put in myself, but it's just very measured and kind of commanding in a sense. And the same equally I'd say is Challenge Thyself. I think her aesthetic is beautiful in her videos, but also she has this really calm presence when she's explaining the books that she's reading and the stuff that she's doing. I think she's just incredibly wholesome in the way that she presents herself, and I feel like if you were to hang out with her, you would just feel like super chill, and she would just be really inviting and warm. And Yeah, I just think that she is awesome. So these are the 10 bookish personality types. I hope this gives you a flavor of a range. There are so many more which I could talk about as well. It's really difficult to choose between them all, and my subscription list is ridiculous. You can actually look at my subscription list and it will give you a whole range of different bookish booktubers as well as arty types and other random silly videos sources in there as well. Like, my subscription list is crazy, and that can sometimes make it difficult for me to keep a tabs on all the booktubers that are actually out there. But there are heaps. There are so many, and they all talk about new and interesting ones. I feel like it's constantly evolving. It's really cool. I hope this has been entertaining for you and informative. I hope you check out a few of these channels. Please do give me a like and thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, even if you don't subscribe, because that does help grow my channel. And in the same way, if you like any of their channels, show your support with a little like as well, because it really helps all of us grow. This is enough from me for now. I hope you are all well and good. Take care, and I will see you all again real soon. Okay, bye. The booktuber with a